Loveline's meant for an adult audience. Loveline may contain sexually oriented content. Listener discretion is advised. Here's Loveline from Dr. Drew and Adam Carolla. That's that.
Hey!
How about that?
Just talking more about the puppy love.
Oh, boy.
Phone number for Loveline, 1-800-LFEE-191. Fax number 310-854-4455. Madam Carolla, that is Dr. Drew. Dr. Drew is board-certified physician, Dixon Medicine Veteran. Last night we dedicated the better part of the show to this guy who was having sex with his dog. And Drew did a little research on it.
I couldn't come up with much. Yeah, I couldn't come up with much. Really couldn't. I was kind of disappointed. But one thing that was, there are a couple of things that I did find out. One is that it's possible to have these sorts of specific, bizarre qualities and function reasonably on other areas of society and personality function.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean he's disturbed all the way through necessarily.
Yeah.
It also doesn't necessarily mean he moved from one fetish or one paraphilia, as you call it, to another.
Right.
Okay. But I also talked to other people about it. How, just sort of interviewed people in the mental health profession, and pretty much everybody agreed that what creates such outrage is the issue of non-consenting, of training somebody to do something. The way a child can be trained to do that same stuff, the way the dog could.
Yeah.
It's such a violation.
Well, for those who didn't join us last night, and see what you miss when you miss a Loveline episode, boy, do you miss a lot. This young man he's 21. He was, he'd get bare naked, get down on all fours, and get in a sort of submissive position, and the dog would approach him from the rear and go to town, which upset a lot of people and claimed it was abusive to the dog. My argument was better his ass than the sofa leg. And, Drew, you did jump in and make that point, I think, to Sherry during the commercial that no one has forced the dog to. The dog will do that.
Yeah, well, but he trained the dog. He trained the dog to do it, though.
Yeah, it didn't take a whole lot of biscuits to get him on there, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So a lot of that's just in the genes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Anyway, but what I was thinking about this during the day. And I wonder, what is it about our society? I mean, here I am on a show where we talk about this stuff, but what is it that's happened now that we've gone in 100 years from being fascinated with physical disabilities? You know, P.T. Barnum would put freaks up, physical freaks.
Right.
And now we're just completely fascinated with emotional freaks, behavioral freaks. And that's what every talk show on television during the day, that's what they parade around. I mean, what is so interesting about that to people?
Well, people, I believe, have a instinct about seeing people that are worse off than they are. That's why they love,
I think it is too.
Specials like When Swarms Attack on Fox have such great ratings, because there's nothing better than seeing some farmer being stung several thousand times by a horde of African killer bees. Just as long as it's not you.
Not me. At least it's not me.
It's not me. I mean, from the dawn of civilization, from the time of the Incas and the Mayans doing their sacrifices, to the witch hunts, to the freak show at P.T. Barnum, to now what is the Sally Jesse and all these shows, it's a bunch of people who aren't in the pickle that we're in. Or in a worse pickle than we're in.
Right.
Look at this guy.
Right.
This guy not only got his wife pregnant, but he got her sister pregnant and the babysitter pregnant, and they're all here to confront him. It's very, I guess the word would be cathartic to, no, not really cathartic, but I guess there's something therapeutic about seeing people that are in much worse shape than you are, because that's the only way you can gauge your own life, unfortunately. Yeah. You know how it is? I mean, look at this. You make a certain amount of money a year. That enables you to have a certain kind of house and a certain kind of car and go on a certain kind of vacation. Now, if you started running around with, Kevin Costner in the Sultan of Brunei, you'd feel like a schmo. You really would.
Right.
But you go hang out with some of the guys you went to high school with that are making $55,000, $60,000 a year doing some sort of computer tech stuff or something. You're king of the hill.
Right.
You feel better with those people.
Right.
You hang out with these guys and you think, geez, I got to make more. I don't feel so good about myself. That's what that is. You can see people and feel good about yourself via them having miserable lives.
Think how we've evolved, though. Now we've been able to see the human experience behind, say, having a physical disability, so we can't we don't engage in that kind of hysteria anymore because it was a person that's in pain. And it's the same thing with the emotional disorders too. I mean, it's a person.
What's worse, being a bearded woman and having a nice relationship, or having no physical problems and having a excruciating emotional pain
all the time? Yeah, and we as a society are not catching up to that.
Yeah, but we will eventually. It'll come full circle.
You think? Well, then we'll find something else to be.
We'll have people's auras on these talk shows, and we'll make fun of like their afterlife. I don't know what the next logical progression is, but eventually there'll be a backlash against all this this junk too. All right, Natalie.
Yeah.
You're 27. What's going on?
Well, I am in a relationship for 5 years now, and about a year ago, my boyfriend, we both talked about different incidences where we had cheated on each other, and he has been with a bunch of guys.
Ooh.
And so this was the first that I had known about it, and at first I was thinking, let's just take a break for a while and see how it goes, and let me think about it. And it didn't turn out that way. We stayed together through it, and now rather than having him have intimate relationships with these other guys, we've kind of talked about having a threesome with guys. And
this is some sort of compromise where he's told you he's not going to stop his behaviors?
It's a lot like in England when they give heroin to the junkies.
I see.
It's just better. It's not necessarily a cure. It's just better than the alternative.
I think not in this case.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're not hooked. I mean, you're not addicted.
You don't have to stay. You don't have to stay and expose yourself to all this. Hey, it's something you, of course, don't want to do.
Natalie.
Yeah.
Were you more upset that he was with guys
than had it been women?
Than women?
Or was it both anyway?
Well, I think that I kind of feel like because it was with guys that I feel more for him. Like he was molested when he was younger. So
there we go.
He's got a lot of he's got some issues.
Hold on,
I
Drew.
just want to just bail out.
Knock me over.
Leave him, without a support.
Right. But
he kept it totally secret for all of his life. I'm the only one that he's told.
Well, it's time he tell a professional, because you're not going to get him through that by participating with him in all this. Okay?
You're what they call an enabler, right, Drew?
Correct. It's the equivalent of trying to fix an alcoholic.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Yeah.
And you're going to put yourself in pain's way and harm's way. Because she's asking you to do things you don't want to do, which will be very disturbing to you.
You think?
Hold on, I'm closing my eyes. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So. That's a stretch, but we figure we will be uncomfortable. Yeah. And there's HIV risks.
Right.
And sexually transmitted disease risk.
Right.
And so,
he's gone to see some guys, and he goes and meets them through the paper.
I want you to think about something. What is with you that you would...
Well, she loves him.
You'd be so fused with this guy that you would die to maintain the relationship.
No, please, Drew, you're getting a little melodramatic.
I mean, that's really what that's.
She's not going to die. She may get a penis in the eye.
But she would go through whatever emotional unpleasantness is necessary. What happened to you?
That's a better question.
What?
What happened to you?
What do you mean, what happened to me?
Why are you with a guy who's behaving this way?
Well, it's been a long time. I mean, we are close, and we have been together a long time. We love each other.
Drew's gambling.
And
hold on.
I'm hoping that we can work through it.
No, we're gambling on you, Natalie. Oh, boy.
Uh-oh.
Hold on. Oh, boy. Hey, Don, I'm talking to someone. You got $1? No. Drew, I'm a little bit light tonight. Can you get another $1 out for me? Oh, hold on a second, Natalie. Here's a hypothetical question for all the Loveline listeners. Would you rather your partner, if they cheated, was a carryover from last night, let's say your partner was a male, would you rather him be caught with a female, a male, or an Akita Collie mix. Now, it's only once. It's only once, and it doesn't really mean anything. It's the act.
Doesn't mean anything.
No, what I'm saying is it's in a hypothetical world. Do you know what I'm saying?
No.
I'm saying if you do choose the Akita Collie mix, it's not because he's going down this long and dark trail of zoophilia.
Yeah.
It's just that's it. He had an encounter.
Yeah.
Is it with a girl? Is it with a guy? Is it with the Akita? I'm going the dog. I am. If it's a one time, I'm going with the dog.
We're going to get some vegan input tonight, I suspect.
Nothing like that vegan injection. All right, so what about Natalie? Game on her. Dad alcoholic.
Yeah, that's a good bet.
Is that good?
I'm going to go...
You're down, Mike, he's down 1 for the, in 98. We pushed on, I think, 3, and then I won the 4th.
All right, I'm going to say she's adopted.
Ooh.
And was, and had, I think the alcoholic dad in there somewhere. And,
yeah. Well, you can go that with the adoption.
Okay, all right.
Okay. Where is she? 2? Natalie?
Yeah.
What's the background like?
My dad is an alcoholic.
He is.
And family, very religious, conservative.
No adoption?
No adoption.
The parents still together?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to take a buck, Drew.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Here's what I
Mike, put that in the log. It's 2-0, baby.
Here's what I was picking up on, that something in addition to that...
2-0-3 for the new year. You are 0... Wait a minute. Yes, you are...
0-4 or something.
2.
Dr. Drew is right.
No.
You're
I was right about the alcoholic.
You're 0-2-3.
Yeah. But here's
what, Mike, you got something to say?
You can't count the pushes as anything. It's just a null score at that point.
Right. Okay.
It screws up my whole database, too.
Okay, I'm sorry, Mike.
I also was wondering if something heavy happened in your family between the age like 0 to 3 for you.
Well, no, we...
Oh, boy.
My dad, we were in the military.
Don't enter anything in the computer yet, Mike. I may be coughing up that buck again.
So we moved around a lot, and, there were times that were pretty traumatic,
I don't know.
Adjusting with Moose, but 0 to 3... When I was in my mom's womb, we were traveling. I don't know if that might have anything to do with it.
You didn't lose a sibling or anything like that?
No.
Like that happened? Okay.
Now, your mom can go over Niagara Falls in a barrel while you're in the womb, and if you're all right, you're all right, right?
Right.
You don't have any weird hydro dreams that night or something about a whiskey barrel or nothing? No. All right. So, Natalie, you have your share of problems because you're with a guy who has more than his share of problems.
Right.
I feel sorry for him, and so does Drew, about what happened to him when he was young, but that doesn't mean you have to just step aside and let him run roughshod through the relationship with all these activities. This is smelling like trouble. I know you've been together for a while, but...
and it's codependency, for lack of a better term, and she can go try to work on it for herself.
So if you really love the guy like you say you do, why don't you work on it?
You go to Coda.
And not work on fulfilling his fantasies, which will be endless, by the way.
Right.
Aaron.
Yes.
You're 22.
Yeah, go ahead. Or actually...
Oh, you go ahead.
You can go ahead, that's right.
Yeah.
And by the way, a guy who's in the shape that Natalie's girlfriend is in, it's like saying, I got to get my heroin boyfriend a fix because then he won't want heroin anymore.
Right.
Well, he's going to the next day.
That's right.
Okay, sorry, Aaron.
That's okay. Actually, I just want to ask you guys what your experiences or what your thoughts were on GHB.
GHB is
gamma hydroxybutyric.
Yeah, it's gamma hydroxybutyric.
Is that what the Asians used to cook?
No, it's a relative of GABA, gamma-aminobutyric acid, which is sort of the down-regulating chemical in the brain that causes sedation and sleep. And it is an intoxicant. A small, say, Dixie cup-sized dose would be about the equivalent of a six-pack of beer. Problems with GHB are the following. One is it's extremely difficult to adjust the dose. You really don't know what you're getting.
That's why you always go large, play it safe.
And there is a very narrow window between intoxication and coma and seizure and even death. which there are plenty of deaths reported from GHB. So something to be very, very careful with.
Yeah, it's kind of dropped out of the news a little bit.
It comes and goes in the rave scenes and whatnot, and it's amazing. The more dangerous drugs, they come for about they come on for about a year, then they see people get really hurt, so it goes away for about 3 or 4 years until a new crop of young people come into that scene, and they start using it again.
Right. You know what it's like? It's like the camp on Friday the 13th. A bunch of kids would go into the camp. Freddie, or whoever the hell was over there on Friday the 13th, he'd kill them all with an axe, and then no one would come back for about 5 years. But then each sequel would start with somebody going and pulling the boards off the old campground and fixing it up again, because they weren't in that class that got killed with the axe by Freddie. Was that Freddie? Yeah, I think it was. All right, so what the hell about this GHB? And, we're looking for something new here, especially out in L.A., since we're on the cutting edge of this stuff. We've gone through the freeway shootings. We've gone through the pit bull attacks. We've gone through all the drugs du jour. I'm thinking maybe pit bulls hopped up on GHB shooting folks on the 405 is going to be the next.
In reaction to their sexual abuse by their owners.
Yes.
Yeah, the sexual abuse of pit bulls.
This could be the next big one. Rachel.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, you're 24.
Yeah, I'm calling about my brother. He's been taking a lot of Xanax lately to get high, and when he does, he gets real agitated, and he'll start yelling. And I need to know if this could progress to him getting really violent, because I'm worried about my nephew. So that's all I need to know.
Well, is he a violent person?
No, he's not, but whenever he's on this, he just gets real agitated.
Xanax makes you violent?
Well, it can be derepressant in that it can sort of unroof stuff. Disinhibiting. So the people are amnestic too. They can't remember what the hell they did.
Why is he on this?
No, he buys it from a friend.
He's a drug addict.
Oh, I see.
And by the way, the withdrawal from Xanax is exceedingly unpleasant and quite dangerous.
I thought that was like a mood.
It's an anti-anxiety medicine. Very short-acting, very addictive.
Oh boy.
And
he's got a kid.
Yeah, he's got 11-month-old.
Oh, that's good. I'm sure. Is his wife pregnant again? By the way.
No.
She's on her way.
Not his wife.
Oh, I don't know. I use wife generically now. You know what I'm saying, Drew? And in the past, if someone was talking about having a kid, you'd say his wife. Now, when you say wife, you really should just say hoe or something.
What did your friend refer to as almost sort of wife? Wheeze?
Oh, the wheeze? Yeah. He's, it's his concubine. It's common law.
Almost kind of wife.
Yeah, he's getting close. All right, so how does she get this guy some help?
Yes.
Rachel? What are you planning to do with this? I mean, all bets are off when it comes to intoxicants. There's no telling what he can do, okay? He might become terribly violent.
So it can progress to this?
Of course. Look, these are very serious substances. What are you going to do about it?
I don't know. My mom just gave the baby back to them. She had him for a while.
Why?
I don't know.
Why don't you call social services so you get somebody from the resources in your community to watch over this. And maybe if reality is brought to bear, he'll be able to get some help.
Oh, boy. Everyone should give everyone up for adoption right now. We should we should take over an island like Fiji. We should put Bill Cosby and Felicia Rashad on it, and we should just take a C-130 transport planes going 24/7 back and forth, and we're going to transport everybody from this country under the age of, how old are your kids, Drew?
5.
5.5. to Fiji, and let Bill do it, then Bill can write a book. And every American will kick in, $100 a month.
Less than they're already kicking in.
Yeah, oh, yeah. It will be significantly less. It couldn't be more. Brian.
Hello.
Hey, you're 14.
Yeah, me and my mom just got done talking, and she said that her and my dad are planning on getting a divorce, or a separation, that's what they say. And I don't think I could handle the stress right now because I've been going through a lot of things these past 2 years.
What else?
I just got off. I've been trying really hard to stop doing drugs.
What drugs?
Well, mostly marijuana, and I've sniffed a couple lines of crank. And I'm trying to get focused in school again. And I just think that, if I have to deal with this, that it'll just bring me down again. And
I don't want to, I hear your pain, Brian, but everybody I know's parents are divorced. And most of them got divorced when they were 7 or 8. You're 14. It's not a happy occasion, but it doesn't have to send you into a tailspin either. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but the thing is that I haven't been able to see my counselor in about 3 months.
How come?
Because my mom says the insurance won't pay for it.
Oh, boy. Can you get a job? You used to pay for your own therapy, right?
No, when I was 14.
Oh, yeah.
Jeez. When I was 19.
Oh, my.
And I've been trying really hard to quit all the things I've been doing and trying to get back into school and stuff, but, and...
Your parents have money?
Well, my dad has money.
Uh-huh.
If my mom and I move away from him, we're going to have nothing.
Now, what if you said to your dad, hey, look, you got a couple of bucks. I'm really at a crossroads here in life, and I really got to stick with this therapy, Dad. Do you think you could help me out with that? Because, with the divorce and everything, do you think he'd rally?
Well, my mom basically takes all the money from him, so it's up to her. And we've been talking about me getting back into counseling. And then I also want them to get into marriage counseling.
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so if they do that, I don't know if I'll be able to go back to counseling.
Because there won't be enough counseling money to go around?
Not at all.
No. All right, but if they go to marriage counseling and decide not to get a divorce, then you won't need your counseling because you won't be devastated from the divorce that never happened.
Well, I've been in counseling since I was like 7.
Yeah, I can hear it. It's like Woody Allen.
Because there's been such discord in the family. Has it been
Well, it's been a lot of things. Like mostly, it's my mom's been trying really hard lately, especially for me. But
is she an alcoholic?
No, she can't drink. She's allergic to alcohol. But my 2 sisters, who are both older than me, both of them would fight a lot with my mom, and they both moved out before they were 16.
Mm-hmm.
And I think my mom's been trying really hard with me, but it also hasn't been working out.
So there's been some heavy stuff going on for a long time.
Well, you know what Brian needs to do? Brian needs to play softball. You know what I'm saying?
No.
He's 14. He's on the skids. He's doing counseling. He's shouldering the burden of the whole family. He's talking about getting mom and dad into counseling. You need some goofball buddies, a skateboard and a mitt, and you got to just go out and do a bunch of crap. I mean, that's what I did. My family was a mess. I just played softball.
But I don't get along with other people.
That's the problem.
But you've got to make an effort to do that.
You need some buddies because listen, here's all you got in life. You either got your family or you got your friends. Hopefully you have both. But if you have neither, you're screwed. You need a bunch of buddies. You need to go sleep over at their house 3 nights a week. You need to eat their food. You need to pine for their girlfriends and or sister. And possibly mother, depending on the age range. You need to get immersed in some sort of sporting activity that just consumes all your time. Pick a team to follow, go get the jersey, all that kind of junk, all that big sort of healthy distraction crap, all that go to the park crap. You sit home and you're just going to stew in your own juices.
It is true that people only get better by their connections to other people. They're going to end up like James, that guy last night who had no connection with any humans and no empathy for anything or anybody and ends up with a dog.
Yeah, I know. I still don't think the dog. I still think it's the dog's name is Brutus.
Yeah.
I still think it should be called Lucky. How many dogs do you know get oral sex? Seriously. From a guy who was like MIT or something.
Yeah.
He was from physics major or something.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Brian, very morose, very depressed. I don't want to sound, I don't want to take a real complicated situation and give a simple answer, but he's got to start making some friends. He's got to get out there a little bit, and he can't sit there and shoulder the whole burden of his family.
And he should stay in treatment.
Okay.
I don't go in for these backdoor shenanigans.
Sex, drugs, rock and roll.
Shenanigans.
Chips, dips, chains, whips. Basic high school orgy type of thing.
Loveline, I'll be right back.
Exclusively on Tucson's New Rock, 92.1 KFMA.
Hi, this is Glenn. And I'm Randy from Featherwet Sprocket. And you're listening to Loveline with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew. Adam Carolla. So sexy. It's Adam Carolla. It's just the sexiest name on earth.
All right. I like those wet sprocket guys. Phone number for Loveline, 1-800-LOVE-191. Fax number 310-854-4455. Producer Ann's on a minesweeper out there looking for poo.
Oh, boy.
Got a little report of the poo smell lofting over.
Yeah, I noticed that when you opened the door.
Yeah, a little poo smell. Yeah.
And for all the Westwood One people listening, I didn't give authorization for this because I don't want to take crap tomorrow.
No.
So to speak.
No. Usually the poo smell leaves when I leave the studio, but in this case, it came in. So, anyway, Ann's over there looking for thank God they just got the carpets cleaned over here. All right, Michelle.
Yeah?
You're 14. What's going on there?
About 2 months ago, I went to Washington State, and I met this guy who's 4 years older than me. Mm-hmm. And after 3 days, we I ended up giving him oral sex. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to know if something was wrong with me, because I'm only 14, and I always, think about it.
Mm-hmm. Think about what? What way?
Sex and stuff.
That would be normal at 14.
Really?
Are your peers engaging in this kind of activity?
My parents?
Your peers, your friends.
My peers.
Drew's like one of those books on cassette.
Well, where I used to live, they did, but not now, because I just moved.
Now, where'd you move? I want to know where not to go. Where is that?
I moved to Oregon.
So there's none of that going on in Oregon?
Well, not in the one place in Oregon.
Right, but where'd you used to live?
On the East Coast.
And then there was all that going on there.
Yeah.
How do you feel about what you did?
Well, I kind of regret it now, but I really don't remember much of it. It kind of just happened.
Why don't you remember much of it?
Well, I think that I was just caught up in the moment.
Mm-hmm. Why don't you keep your wits about you when you're with someone and really decide what it is you do and don't want to do?
Well,
Maybe even ahead of time.
She didn't really not want to do it. She's just...
Well, but she is...
I wanted to do it then.
Right.
Now I think that I guess something is maybe wrong with me because I enjoyed it.
No. Listen, here's... it's sad, but it's true. I don't care what anybody did anymore. It's how they feel about what they did. And the fact that Michelle is calling and saying, I'm wondering what's up with me, means she's probably healthy.
Right.
It's a bit of a catch-22. Even though she engaged in this behavior that's making her call, the fact that she's calling is a real solid sign.
Right. You are... When are you turning 15?
In April.
See, I mean, you're just a little young to be getting into this stuff. You're gonna, if you're not careful, you're going to get hurt, okay?
Yeah.
That's all I'm telling you. That just you may want to focus on developing a relationship, and then you'll be better able to explore all these impulses you're having in a way that's safe and more gratifying for you.
Well, see, he was 4 years older than me.
I know he's a jerk. I'm sorry, but I understand. But
yeah, I've never. Was he a senior in high school or no? Probably.
Yeah.
Oh, he was.
Yeah.
What did he do? Flunk a grade?
I don't know. I don't know if he was 17 or 18.
Okay.
I just said that he was a senior in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're what, in the 9th grade?
Yeah.
It's just, hey, I'll tell you, I liked women when I was a senior in high school, but I never really thought about the 9th grade.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you think about your peers. You don't take advantage of people that are outside of your peer group.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if I would have. See, my school, hey, this is a very interesting point.
Your school is 10, 11, 12.
10, 11, 12, the way God intended schooling to be. Because now these idiots have made school in many places 9, 10, 11, 12, which basically means the seniors are getting Hummers from 9th graders instead of 10th graders like God intended. There's a big difference between 9th grade and 10th grade.
That's true.
But I can't tell you for sure that if I was some hard-up senior and there was some buxom 9th grader walking around, if I wouldn't have been tempted by that. Although God took care of that because she wouldn't have been tempted by me.
Yeah.
But I'm just wondering, there must be a hell of a lot more sexualizing of 9th graders going on now because they're in with 11th, 10th, 11th, and 12th graders.
Could be.
Well, think about that.
Yeah, makes sense.
Let's say you're female. Now, your kids are going to go to your alumni, or alma mater, which is the Little Lord Fauntleroy school for albino hemophiliacs. And I know that school goes for, you have to put a deposit down once you get pregnant, right? Is that how that works? You actually take a
deposit to take
Scantron test, wrap it up, and put it up your wife's vagina, and have the kid fill it out while he's still in the womb.
Determine eligibility to try out.
Right. So, and I know that goes like kindergarten through grade 19 and a half or something. But my junior high was 7th, 8th, and 9th. And for the most part, there wasn't going to be any 14-year-old 9th grade chicks getting it on with the 7th graders. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And there was certainly, fair share of hanky-panky going around. But the point is the 9th graders were getting it on with the 9th graders.
Right.
Because it was a totally different school.
Right.
And what the hell they know? And they didn't have cars or anything. They weren't going over to the North Hollywood High campus. The thing was 5 miles away, and that was that. Now imagine if that 9th grader of yours was in it becomes they're piranhas once they get to high school.
Yeah.
What are you worried about, some 7th, 8th grader guy? He's waiting for his testicles to descend, you know?
Yeah.
You're not thinking about getting his paws on your daughter.
Right.
You put him in there with those high, something to think about. I never really put this angle on it, but I think it's a good argument for 10.
We just got to go back to same-sex schooling. That's all.
Yeah. Now that I'm out of school, that's fine. Plus, it would have given me an excuse for not getting laid in high school. You know? It's a bunch of guys. What do you want? Chris.
Yeah.
You're 21.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had this problem. My girlfriend, she's born, and I'm also having
she's
kind of sleeping with her sister.
His girlfriend's born.
Born?
And she just my girlfriend, she just has like this attitude problem all the
I
time.
don't know what born means. I think it may be short for boring.
She's boring?
It's just, she don't talk when we're together. I always have to say something.
Mm-hmm. That's a mixed blessing.
You know?
Why don't you break up with her?
I don't know what to do because...
Why don't you break up with her?
Well, I'm really interested in her sister.
Well, why don't you break up with your girlfriend?
I guess I will then.
Okay. All right. Your girlfriend, but don't go after the sister in either case. That's just too painful. I mean, can you imagine why she doesn't talk to him?
Chris is no Tony Randall. I got news for him, too. She's probably not talking because she figures, why waste my time?
Yeah, you're probably hostile and angry. And
my girlfriend, she's born. She's born. I
think you mean boring?
Yeah, she don't talk.
Not even a yeah, just
she don't talk. Yeah, I love it. It's like being an ambassador to Bad Teenage Embassy here, although Chris was 21. We get to sit and try to figure out what people are talking about. All right, so, Chris, break up with her and start dating her born sister. All right. Paige.
Hi.
You're 17.
Yes.
What's going on there?
You didn't tell him to date her sister.
Pardon me?
His sister's 15, by the way.
Oh, she is?
Yeah, forget the sister.
Did he say that?
It's up there on the board.
All right, hold on a second, Paige. Chris?
Yeah.
The sister's 15?
Yeah, she is.
How old's your girlfriend?
She's 17.
Mm-hmm. And you're 21?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And have you had some relationship with the 15-year-old?
Yeah, I have. We kind of, sleep together,
Right.
Oh, my God.
But it's just, she's a lot more...
Forget it. Don't even... Oh, my God.
She's a very mature 15?
She is. She acts like my age.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She's unbelievable.
She acts like your age. You're the man who pronounces born. All right. Hey, let me give you a code for very mature in Chris's handbook. Wears a lot of eyeshadow. Oh, boy. Hey, Chris?
Yeah.
Come on, knock it off. Start acting like an adult, would you please?
Okay.
Please. You're 15. She's 15, for Christ's sake. She's in the 9th or 10th grade, and you, had you graduated, would have graduated high school 3 or 4 years ago. You understand?
Yeah.
That's horrible. Come on, go find yourself a nice 19-year-old. Please. You're victimizing somebody. You understand? You're like A poor man's OJ.
Yeah.
Come on. Quit screwing around.
Okay.
Don't be stupid. All right. Oh, for Christ's sake. 21 and what the hell's wrong with this world? You wonder what the hell her family's like, and
oh
boy.
Imagine her dad.
Oh, wait till I get my posse going. Wait till I get my goon squad. All those guys in pork pie hats and the Hawaiian shirts with the silencers that just go from house to house and just start putting people down. That's going to be my policy once I'm in power, by the way. Not going to be any arguing with people. I just put them down. And I was talking to a guy I knew the other day. Some of these people would be friends. I know a few of these guys.
That you put down?
I have to be fair. Just go put them down. You just, here's the deal. We live in something called a society. And there's only so much room for individuality. And no matter what Reebok wants to put in your ass, they're horrible commercials. There's only so much room for individuality. You get out of line, you screw with society a little too much. Say a guy's got like 5 DUIs, we just put him down. We don't even, there's no arraignment, there's no court. You just put the guy down. That's all. That's how this is going to work. You bang around with a 15-year-old more than once, put you down. That's it. That's how it works. All right. We'll be back with a more elaborate list of who I'm going to put down once I'm in power after this.
I began to float up and away from my body.
Lady. Yes, it is Loveline. Adam Carolla, Dr. Drew, phone number 1-800-LOVE-191, and we're going to speak to Paige. Paige?
Hello.
What's going on there, you 17-year-old you? See the way I work the age in?
Pardon me?
Brilliant. What's going on?
Okay. I've been with my boyfriend for about 4.5 months, and we just recently started having sex. And after sex, I get this, this feeling over me like I'm going to vomit.
Yeah.
What do you think that's about?
I don't know.
You have no idea?
No.
Uh-huh. Has he dipped his penis in Ipecac?
She doesn't know what Ipecac is.
Oh, okay. That was for the listeners who did know what Ipecac was, by the way. You on a waterbed?
No.
No.
Happen every time?
Well, it's only happened twice.
Do you actually vomit?
Pardon me?
Do you actually vomit?
Just once I did.
Are you having any other symptoms?
That's a ringing endorsement to this poor 17-year-old who's a little on shaky ground in terms of his masculinity, as it is seeing you, him staring at his small penis and you vomiting in the next room as he wipes a tear away like the Indian on the side of the road.
Any other symptoms at all?
No.
Do you have any?
When I did vomit, I went back and I laid down and I started shaking.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of. Like not really shaking.
Are you aware that there's something emotional going on?
Pardon me?
Do you think this has an emotional basis to it? Are you upset or something?
I don't know. I really don't.
Have you ever had anything happen to you around sex that has been disturbing?
Not that I know of. No, not that I can think of.
And have you had any trouble urinating or pain when you urinate, anything like that?
A little bit.
Is there any pain during sex?
Pardon me?
Any pain during sex?
No.
Well, I'm not clear what this is. Whether it is some.
You ever see one of your grandparents naked?
No.
Really?
I mean, things like urinary tract infections and infections in that area can have funny.
So there's nothing emotional here.
I don't know. It could be.
Are you religious?
I think,
not really.
I would think the first thing to do.
A little bit?
Well, no.
You think you're doing a bad thing by having sex?
Well, I've always been, I've always wanted to wait till marriage and everything like that. But I mean, when I had sex, it really wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. I really didn't feel any guilt or anything like that.
That you're aware of, anyway.
As bad as you thought it would be.
That's kind of the way she put that was kind of funny, wasn't it?
It wasn't as bad as I'm sure he was glad to hear that, too.
Well, I think
there could be a little connection here.
Of course there could be, but the first thing to do is to get this checked out physically to make sure there isn't something going on. And you are sexually active now. It is exceedingly important that you have pap smears on a regular basis. Do you know what that is?
Yes.
All right, have you had one done?
Yes.
And everything's okay?
Mm-hmm.
When was that done?
Just recently.
Are you on the pill or anything like that?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, has that ever caused any nausea?
I just recently started taking them.
Okay, it's possible that maybe you're sort of prone to nausea because of the new hormonal environment, the pill.
I'm going to be working on the poop smear in about
yes, you are.
5.5 minutes over there. The pup took a dump on some equipment, which is why I trained him well.
You haven't said that your dog is here tonight, I don't think.
Oh, the dog is here. And the dog's having a good time peeing and pooping its way. Oh, yeah, we were talking about with Engineer Mike. Good instinct, though. I'm teaching the dog well.
Where to poop and pee?
See any radio equipment? Take a dump on it. It's evil. All right, go ahead.
What?
What were you talking about?
I forget.
Okay. Cindy.
Yeah.
Hey, you're 25.
Hello, how's it going?
That's the kind of false enthusiasm I like.
No, I had my hands in the water. I'm sorry. I'm doing dishes.
Oh, you are?
Yes, I was, and I'm
Well, it's refreshing to hear a woman here in the late 90s still at the dishes. I like that.
Got off of work early. Come on now, I got to do the chores. Just to scare Dr. Drew really bad, my high school was 7th through 12, and yes, us 7th graders were dating seniors.
Right.
And
That's right.
Adam?
That's all right. Don't worry. At Drew's high school, none of the guys will worry too much about dating for fear they may wrinkle an ascot.
Oh, my God.
Or their dicky may get spun around or something.
No, I was getting hit on by loser 30-year-olds when I was 14 because I was 5'10" at 14.
Right.
And all the guys thought I must be a lot older.
That's why, if I have a daughter, I'm going to bind her.
Might be smart.
Like the Asians would do with the feet. Remember they bind the feet?
Sure.
I'm bind the whole woman.
Sure.
Sometimes I wish.
The size of one of those mini ponies.
How tall are you now?
And Adam, I faxed you some information about your puppy. I don't know if you've gotten through that, but it was about a page long. Anyway, just to keep an eye lookout for that, because we used to raise dogs.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, so...
Well, I don't trust you now.
No, we were actually... I was the good trainer. My mom's second husband was a jerk, but...
I don't trust anyone who raises animals. I don't know why.
I'm sorry. All I can tell you is what works.
All right. Tell me what works. I'm sorry.
I did in the fax. Or do you want me to...
Well, maybe I have it. I don't know if I've looked at it.
You want to keep him in one room.
Mm-hmm.
If he cries, let him cry. I told you a little trick with a hot water bottle and a ticking clock and wrap it in a...
Oh, that's right.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, you read that?
Listen, who am I, a MacGyver over here? I put the goddamn radio on, and that's enough. I'm not going to take a hot alarm clock and sew it into a hot bottle, and this is ridiculous.
His mom's heartbeat, and it puts him to sleep.
Well,
you want him to stop whining.
Listen, I clip a toe off with a pair of lineman dikes each time he poos in the house. That's the way I work it.
Who doesn't have the ego problems? I have medical problems, and I've had doctors tell me I was a hypochondriac, I was a liar. I now have a heart condition because the doctor didn't listen to me when I found out the side effects of the drugs or what was going on, and I called the doctor immediately, and she goes, "Oh, don't worry about it." And I'm all, "Oh, thanks for the erratic heartbeat and the blood pressure up to here and the dizzy spells."
Wait a minute, you're going to a broad doctor?
I did. I went to a male gynecologist.
Well, you
I went to a female gynecologist.
Yeah.
I'm about ready to start kicking butt.
Well, there's no guarantees when you...
What was the medication?
It was... Oh, boy, I've got it in the cabinet here. It was a synthetic progesterone.
And what is the heart problem you have?
Medroxyprogesterone. Provera, that's what it was.
Yeah, what was the heart problem you have now?
They won't diagnose it because I've changed medical plans because I couldn't get the doctor to get me into for an EKG.
Provera doesn't cause heart problems.
No, the side effects on Provera...
Cindy, Provera does not cause heart problems.
No, I understand that. But what it caused, if you list the list of side effects...
It can cause all kinds of side effects, including palpitations and elevated your blood pressure, but it does not cause any medical problems. You can relax about that.
The heart palpitation hasn't stopped since then.
They're very uncomfortable, but they are normal.
Here's why, by the way, I would not print the side effects on the side of any
they come in
medication.
You see in the list that comes in every medication.
Oh, forget about it. When you thumb through the magazine and you see the ad for like Xanax or something, you know, on the front page of the Xanax ad, they show a guy rappelling down El Capitan with like a good-looking chick next to him. On the backside is writing right, you would need a midget with a electron microscope could not read that much small print.
And all lists of side effects.
And all a list of side effects, and all goes right into like people like Cindy's arsenal, because the more they read about that, the more they got.
But Cindy, you do need to get checked out for mitral prolapse, because that can cause palpitations. But basically, a premenopausal woman who doesn't smoke, in the vast majority of cases.
How do I find a doctor who's going to listen to me? And I agree with Adam, except I had the side effects for a month before I got the list.
If you're in an HMO, the doctors are required to see 6 patients every hour, and that's it. They have to. They're required to.
So I just keep skipping around until I find somebody who listens to me.
No, you should change your health plan.
I did.
And get a private insurance where a doctor can take 15 or 30 minutes with you. And shop around, talk to people, make sure you have an open line of communication, find out where the person's trained, and make sure it's somebody who you have a connection with and you can see on a regular basis and establish a relationship with.
I'm trying to think of what I am. There's people that are hypochondriacs. I think I'd be like a napochondriac or lasochondriac. I'm the guy who has the golf ball-sized cyst on his forehead and thinks nothing of it for a couple of years.
Yeah.
What would that be?
Denial.
Stupid? Oh, denial.
Yeah.
Deniacondract?
Yeah, sure.
Doctors they love me. I'm never there. I'm not, I just assume things will go away. Fortunately, I'm getting a little old and things are catching up to me. And by the way, my hand is now killing me ever since I decided to do some work on it. My hand has become like, your bladder when you see your freeway, the off-ramp to your house coming up, and you go, ooh, I'm going to go. And then all of a sudden the toilet keeps, getting farther and farther away. I decided to do something about my hand. It's been hurting ever since I decided to do something about it.
Good.
Yeah, that's good. That's excellent. And by the way, what's going on? I had that MRI 2 weeks ago. Where's that quack hand surgeon of yours?
Call him.
Oh, I call him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why don't you try rapping it this time?
Yo, kick some flavor and stuff in Loveline. I'll be right back in a minute.
Hey, it's the Loveline. Adam Carolla, Dr. Drew, and the dog. All right, phone number. Forget about the phone number. Forget about the fax number. We will be taking our customary 10-second break and be back in that many seconds.
This is Loveline on
radio
station. New Rock. KFMA 92.1 FM. Green Valley, Tucson.
Hey, it's Loveline. Adam Carolla, Dr. Drew. Phone number for Loveline, 1-800-LFEE-191. I decided on I'm naming the dog Lotzie. That's my grandpa's name. Was my grandpa. Oh, I guess it's always your name. And it's short for Laszlo. But it's like a Hungarian thing. But I thought, Lotzie's pretty good. It's a girl, but, it could be a girl's name.
Sure.
And it sounds sort of European.
Yeah.
It could be German. Lotzie?
Yeah.
Schatzi.
Yeah.
Be German. And I think you ought to name your dog out of whatever the hell the region it hails from.
Yes.
Like, if you had like a, Irish setter, you'd have to name it like Liam.
I had a Siberian Husky. I named it Ivan.
Oh, really? See, Drew?
Yeah.
Mediocre minds think alike, don't they? You had a Siberian Husky?
Yeah.
What, growing up?
Yeah.
Ivan?
Yeah.
Oh, what a great childhood that must have been. How old were you when you got Ivan?
Like young teens.
Wow.
Yeah.
Chicks dig dogs. Tell you what. I went to the market with this dog. I didn't even go to the market. I just went in looking for dog food. Met a good-looking blonde woman. You got to... By the way, guys, you don't need a dog. Just go into the market.
Buy dog food.
Just start buying dog food.
Start buying diapers, too.
I don't know about the diaper part. It would attract a certain breed. Drew's. Drew's giving me the head nod on that one. I'm buying diapers. Well, no. Yeah, I think that's that whole... I don't know. I think it's just because you're good looking or something. But I don't see what the diaper tie, really? Single dad, possibly? No, that doesn't do anything for you. But listen, go into the... It does? And you see a guy buying diapers?
No,
That's kind of a turn.
Definitely the dog.
Yeah.
A puppy. Oh.
I mean, the puppy was out in the car. I just went in to go grab a box of kibble, And there's this good-looking blonde woman standing there, and I said, she gave like the first dog thing and all that junk. Yeah, and didn't follow up on it.
It's very unthreatening. It's very easy to open up with talking about your dog.
Right.
You know?
Yeah,
it's common ground and
good opener. Very safe. Plus, women think guys who have dogs have some sort of nurturing ability that many guys don't possess.
Responsibility. They can handle responsibility.
Right. What sections should you stay out of, I guess, is as long as I'm telling you. So hang out in the dog section and buy kibble, buy like a lot of puppy chow. Women will like that. Stay away from the adult bladder control products, big boxes of diapers and that kind of stuff. And
so you don't strike up any conversations when you're in front of the.
No, stay away from a lot of skin products, the acne products and stuff like that. And if you're going to buy like a beef tongue, buy it last. Don't be walking around the thing with a giant cow tongue in your basket. You're not going to get any of that vegan trim if you work that angle. All right, Brad.
How are you?
Okay, Brad. What's going on there?
Well,
you're 41, by the way, Brad.
You're not supposed to say my real name in here, or my real age, I mean.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
You don't sound a day over 40.
I don't even look 41.
What's going on there, Brad? You give me the creeps.
Well, I've been with the same girl for about a little over 2 years, since November of 95.
Mm-hmm.
And I moved out in August.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the fighting that was going on and stuff. But, it seems like with her it's off 1 minute, it's on the next, or I've committed myself to you as much as I can. And she's got 3 kids from 3 different guys. And her youngest boy, 10, her youngest kid, he doesn't even know whose dad is. Some guy that went back to Saudi Arabia.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, that makes you wonder about a few things, right?
Right. A thing or two, yeah. Makes us wonder about you, by the way, too, Brad. Got to be honest.
You're starting to sound like my mom now.
Oh, yeah.
But, anyways.
How old is this woman?
39.
Uh-huh.
Her marriages were short. They weren't very long. She's had a lot of short relationships. She was with one guy off and on for 7 years, but that's because he was going to school in Miami, and he's from Saudi Arabia, and he used to have money sent over here from his parents. They were the second richest in Saudi Arabia.
Saudi guy with money?
Yeah.
Right.
He wanted to marry her. She wouldn't, but he bought her a car. He bought her this. He bought her that. Opened up bank accounts for the kids.
Let me guess. You smell poo now, Drew? No. Okay. Into the oil, I'm guessing? Yeah. All right, so what are you asking? Why do you want to be with this woman?
That's a good question.
All right.
Well, I guess there's a special attraction there with her and I.
Yeah. She's effed up and so are you. That's what the attraction is. Let's be honest, Brad. What's your situation like? You working?
Oh, yeah, I'm working. I'm staying with some friends in Kent. I'm not living with her right now. I want to buy a house.
What kind of, you doing, like construction?
Oh, no, I'm a sales representative.
Really?
I'm real good at what I do.
Have you gotten any physical violence with her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's had a lot. Yes, her 2 marriages were one time she hit me with a fireplace program.
Yeah, this is the story of somebody that seeks out physical abusers.
And then she was after it happened, she was real apologetic.
This is like...
yeah.
Took me to the hospital.
That's nice of her.
Yeah.
She is a chaos seeker, Brad. Everything she's ever done in her life, I think the one through line would be chaos, wouldn't it?
Well, and really abusive men. She sees masculinity as something sinister and aggressive, and what was her dad like? Just imagine.
She doesn't even know who her real dad is.
Yeah, right.
Her mother used to beat her up. She used to drag her out of bed and beat her up, and she finally got tough enough to beat up her mother, and they put her in a detention center for 2 years.
Yeah.
Her mother used to bring all these different GIs home, so who her real dad is, she'll never know.
Right. Well, she's kept the legacy going.
Well,
and she's got 3 kids, which is always amazing. It's like, really, a kid or 2? That's not enough. You got to... I almost used the F word there.
That's okay.
You got I know it's all right with you. It's the FCC's got problems. It's kind of ironic that the FCC starts with the F.
Right.
But, and that's the one you got to use. But it's not enough that she F's up 1 or 2 kids. You got to F up 3 kids.
Well, I got her pregnant 4 times.
You did?
Yep. The first time I got her pregnant, she got an abortion because I was drinking a lot. I've been clean, by the way, for 26 months.
Great.
The next time I got her pregnant, it miscarried. The next time it miscarried. And this last time it miscarried.
Good. You know what? I was an atheist before I heard this story. Now I'm thinking there is a God.
Well, it makes you kind of wonder.
All right. So, Brad, listen. Here's some bad news for you.
Go ahead.
You are with her for the wrong reasons, and she is with you for the wrong reasons, and they're scary and wrong at the same time.
Right.
I think that this woman is a lot of therapy away from complete chaos. I believe you're attracted to the chaos as well. Otherwise, there's no way you'd be with this person. And I think it's a good time for you to get a little help, for she to get a little bit of help, and for you guys to get a little help apart from each other.
Or,
because, that's what the attraction is.
And some sort of specific, simple advice is spend some time by yourself. Find some quiet, nice woman who is not...
Who won't rat you out to the cops when you beat him?
Yeah, I'm just worried that he's going to abuse whoever he gets involved with.
Well, here's the deal. Here's the rule of thumb. You get around a dog, and anytime you feel moisture, you think piss.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
It happens when you're around kids, too.
I get my car, and it's been raining the night before, and there's dew all over, and I open the door, and I jump in, I roll the window down, a few drops hit my shoulders, like, oh, Christ, someone's peeing on me. Who's peeing? It's got to be pee. Was the dog up on the roof peeing on me now? I got a little moisture on my sleeve from, the coffee mug, and I'm getting urine. All right. This is what attraction is. I mean, when you're with somebody, I don't know, the guy beats me, he's abusive to my kid, blah, blah, blah. I can't help it, I love him. And she's clearly not right for him. She can't help it. She's got to be with her. Hit me, stab me, the fireplace poker. That's the only thing that, you know what the strongest component of the element and component of the relationship is that you're both effed up and you're both really attracted to the effed up part of each other.
Sure.
And that is what's drawn your asses together. All right. Lorenzo.
Yes.
You're 27. What's going on?
Nothing much. How you guys doing?
Wait, we were just saying to Brad that the only way we would condone that relationship staying is if they really get some professional help, because that is going to break down into violence, or is already breaking down into violence.
Right.
All right, Lorenzo.
Yes. First, Drew, I want to thank you for doing this show for so long as you have. I've only been listening for a year, and it was due to being incarcerated down in Phoenix, Towers Jail.
Oh, boy.
And
what happened?
I got into a little problem with drinking and driving. Actually did it more times than I got caught. And
sheesh. Adam would have had you killed.
Yeah.
Well, unless he exceeded 5 times. How many times?
Well, how many times did I get caught, or how many times did I actually do it?
Well, listen, everyone's done it 1,000 times. How many times did you get caught?
Once.
Oh, really?
Right.
So you'd be spared.
But I didn't have a license.
I don't care.
So that made it a felony.
Oh, boy.
Wow. And they incarcerated you, huh?
Oh, yeah. And I fought it for a year and actually won my case. But with the caseload that they have, it just took a year to fight it, and I was incarcerated the whole time.
You were in the pokey for a year because you got a DUI?
An aggravated DUI.
Well, aggravated meaning you pissed on the cop's foot instead of doing the field sobriety test, or aggravated meaning you didn't have
a license.
A license.
I mean, you didn't have it on you at the time?
No,
it was.
You don't have
it was revoked.
Right.
It was revoked.
What happened?
Failure to pay fines. Just regular, no proof of insurance tickets, and didn't have the money to pay it.
Oh, I'll tell you, we just talked to a guy from the TV show who just got sprung out of jail, by the way, for this. By the way, I think he's tired of my constant harassing about the whole three-time loser.
He's a little sensitive about it, yeah.
He's a little sensitive about it, and I keep asking. I keep telling people to watch him.
He's a young guy.
Like
it's like 20 or 25 years.
Yeah, but he was only in for like a month.
Yeah.
A year. Stuff you did in your car.
Yeah.
Christ's sake. What's going wrong with this society?
I'm going through few judges and a few different public defenders, and that's what happens. You just get delayed and caught in the system.
OJ is on the links right now.
Yep.
Well, that's the system we have.
That's right.
All right.
But the thing is that I wanted to, listening to your show from the time that I was in there, and I got introduced to your show through one of the inmates, to the end of my incarceration, made it a lot easier. It was kind of escape, and it was educational as well as entertaining, and I just wanted to thank you guys for that.
Quite well.
Well, thanks. It is I take that as a sincere compliment. I know I was never incarcerated for any real period of time. I got thrown in the holding tank a time or two, but the point is I felt like I was incarcerated during my younger days when I was, for instance, cleaning carpets the entire evening with Everlasting, a man who is incarcerated right now for murder one, by the way. But I had many a mundane job, had many an afternoon and evening to kill doing some repetitious, horrible grunt work, and listening to the radio always kind of got me through it. So I always take it as a very nice compliment when people say that they listen to us when they're sorting mail, working the graveyard.
In fact, you listen to this show.
I did, yes. I used to listen to this show. It used to be better. Yeah, Ann knows. Look at Ann nodding her head over there.
And you do have a strong listening crew out in the jail systems. You didn't know that already.
That's my argument when we get called into the program director's office and he wants to know what happened to the listenership. I tell him they're all locked up. That's where our core audience is.
Right.
People that buy things with cigarettes. Right. This is our core audience.
That's right. My question was for Drew about I was 26 when I was incarcerated, and I had smoked since I was 13, so I smoked half my life. And for the better part of it, probably the 10 of the 13 years, I was smoking 2.5 packs a day.
Oh, boy.
Menthol cigarettes.
Yeah.
Now, it never really bothered me except for morning coughs, hacking up and whatnot. But I mean, everything I did was associated with smoking. Now, once I got incarcerated, I quit cold turkey and had no problem with it because now, as you know, with county and state facilities, you're not allowed to smoke, at least not legally, in the system there, inside the building.
Okay.
So that made it easier for me. Now, with going from one extreme to another, and now that I've been out and I'm surrounded by smokers again and having access to my cigarettes, I still have the urge, and I still have, I have sobriety issues.
How long has it been?
Excuse me?
How long has it been since you smoked?
It's been a year.
And what did you say about sobriety?
Well, you know how some people have issues with sobriety of alcohol and drugs. I'm wondering, do I have an addictive personality when it comes just because of cigarettes, and I'm having nightmares of, did I smoke? I'd have a dream where
using dreams are actually good. They're rehearsals for how you'd feel were you to have used.
Right.
And it usually doesn't feel too good. So it's a way of rehearsing why you don't want to do that. There is, I don't think your urges are going to change very much, frankly. There is a medication that theoretically might help you. There's a reformulation of the antidepressant Wellbutrin. It now comes under the trade name Zyban. And it's used for the early part of nicotine withdrawal typically, but to my understanding of the chemistry, I do believe it may help some people with urges as well. So it's something you could talk to your private doctor about, Zyban. Beyond that, it is really a behavioral issue, and you can go to a smoke enders program, something like that, to get some hints on how to handle these urges and how not to give in to them. Because believe me, as soon as you start chipping cigarettes, just using occasionally, you'll be right back in. You must maintain abstinence. It's like any other form of addiction. Once you gratify that reward center, it becomes overwhelming.
Chicks can chip.
Cigarettes?
Yeah.
Not when they're addicted to it.
Not when they're addicted. A lot of women I know don't drink. Don't smoke. But when they have a few cocktails, they smoke. And then they don't smoke ever again.
But they weren't 2.5 pack a day smoker for 10 years.
No, I'm just making that comment. It's not all based on the last call. And I'm guessing you probably could get cigarettes in jail still. If, the guy who killed all those nurses in their dorm room, who was getting those, estrogen injections and becoming a woman.
What is this?
Remember this guy just died in prison? I'm going to get Engineer Mike involved with the show here for a second. What the hell was that serial killer's name in the 60s? Killed those people, those nurses, and it wasn't Gacy. No.
This is the guy that had videos of him doing weird...
Yeah, they had... What's that? No, not Bundy.
They had video clips of this guy doing weird stuff, and he was getting cocaine and all kinds of stuff,
Yeah.
And breast implants or something.
No,
Remember?
Shut up, Ann. I can't hear. What?
He had, breast implants or something?
Yeah. He was, how would you like that, by the way? Here's some guy. Your daughter's in school, and she's in a dorm. Guy comes in there and viciously stabs your daughter at 19 while she's asleep in her dorm room, and kills a few others, by the way, in there. I think maybe 6 women or something on one night. never gets the death penalty, and goes to prison. And basically, while he's in prison, he's making, like, porn movies and becoming a woman and getting, like, estrogen stuff. I can't figure out how stuff works. Could somebody explain that one to me? How does that work? This is my argument for the death penalty, by the way. Not really... It's not really like punishment or anything. It's just who the hell wants to, pay for these guys for another 45 years for their goddamn estrogen and cigarettes until they kick off?
It's a pragmatic issue.
Let's just get rid of them. Come on. And what'd you do if it was a dog? You know what I mean? If your dog went and bit the head off the neighbor's dog and mauled the neighbor's kid and stuff, and what would you do? Would you put it in some cage somewhere and feed it and let it look at puppy porn or something for 40 years, or would you just go, listen, this dog ain't coming out again. Let's just put it down. Better for the dog, better for us, cheaper. Wouldn't you do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. How many nurses do you get to kill, by the way, before you get the death penalty? Where the hell's the whole estrogen thing come? How do you get to be on like death row and become a woman? Where does that come in? I can't find a nice pair of pumps, and I'm on the outside. I mean, I'm 11 and a half.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah. Justin.
Hello.
You're 15.
Yeah.
There's people on the outside that want to become women that can't afford it.
Of course.
How do you get to become a woman when you're on the inside? Oh, for Christ's sake, Justin.
Yeah.
What do you want?
And sustain a cocaine habit.
Yeah. I'm into making my own. Listen, I've been trying to make some amateur porn for the last 10 years. I can't do it. This guy's in prison. He's making porn movies. Hey, Justin?
Yeah?
What the hell is going on with you?
Oh, I have a... Oh, yeah, by the way, the killer you're thinking about?
Yeah.
His name is Richard Speck.
Speck, that's right. That's right. Huh. Imagine the family of these women that he murdered watching videotapes of him with his newfound breast and laughing it up with a few guards and making a porn movie and doing a line of blow. Can you imagine that?
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
You would think just a single episode like that would be enough to make a society come apart at the seams. You know?
Yeah.
To outrage enough people, the whole thing would have to be redone.
Right. All right. Anyway, Justin.
Yeah, I have a problem with my penis. It's constantly cracking and itching, and I can peel the skin off of it. It never bleeds, but it's really irritating.
How long has it been going on for?
It's been going on for like 4 weeks, and I think I can associate it with either my shampoo or a number of other things.
Like what? What else?
So you're saying it's closely associated to a number of other things?
Like, I'm not completely dry down there when I get out of the shower.
Okay. You're not dry down there when you get out of the shower?
Huh?
Your genital region is not dry when you get out of the shower?
After I've tried to dry off, it's not completely dry, and then I'll put underwear on, and it'll be irritating.
Okay. Anything else?
That's about it.
Are you sexually active?
No.
Do you have any history of psoriasis?
I don't know.
Go ahead.
Do you smoke a lot of weed, Justin?
No.
Really?
No.
Wow.
I just about got busted for that, but I don't.
Okay, Justin, promise me you'll never smoke pot.
No way.
Okay, good man.
Oh, thank you.
Good boy.
Do you have any other skin problems?
No.
Are you sexually active? Oh, this is nice. Adam.
Yeah.
You complain about my kids coming in here.
Well, what the hell? I don't know what the hell the dog's barking at. Do you break when?
No. Justin, I'm sorry. Are you sexually active?
No.
Okay. Well, it could be a lot of different things. It could be just some sort of allergic reaction. It could be like a yeast or a fungus. It could be something like psoriasis or eczema, but it's something the dermatologist or a doctor needs to look at. You might try some Cortade over the counter in the meantime while you wait for the appointment, but you do need to have the doctor look at that.
You know how I feel about the ball powder.
I can't think of a single call where there's been a skin problem that I've been able to help them because people cannot describe skin problems.
Well, because our listeners are tards.
No, but nobody can describe
They're
it.
inmates and tards. That's what makes up our listeners. Please. You have any history of psoriasis? Maybe. Listen, you're either in or out on the psoriasis, by the way, aren't you? You pretty much know when you got psoriasis.
Yeah, but some people may not know it. No, or it may just be beginning, and they may not know what it is. This could be psoriasis, what he's describing.
All right, but you know about the history part is the key word in the phrase.
Right.
Yes. All right, I'm going to go out and squeeze my puppy like a... one of those bakery sacks, one of those things they use.
Frosting.
A frosting sack. One of the pastry chefs use these to decorate cakes.
Right.
I'm going to go do this outside with my dog, and we'll be back.
And you're a bunch of sickos.
Hey, it's Loveline. Dr. Drew here. Adam's out chasing his dog. Forget the numbers, forget the fax number. How did you open the show? Yeah, that's right. This may be a dream come true for me just for a moment here. I'll have to mic all to myself. We'll go to some calls. Let's go first to Tatum.
Yeah.
Hi, what's going on?
Okay.
Adam, I apologize for Adam. What is Ann? What's going on with his dog?
The dog just started peeing everywhere.
Oh, okay, all right, that's good. I just heard a lot of commotion and.
He's peed twice and pooped once.
That's
It was an hour
nice.
and a half.
That's nice. Thanks for bringing the dog. All right, Tatum. I'm sorry.
Okay. I can never orgasm when I have sex with my boyfriend, but he doesn't know because I always fake it. And I wondered if I just want to know if there's like some technique or something that I can use without, letting him know that I'm doing something.
Are you able to by yourself?
Yeah.
Is there something that he is not doing you'd like him to do?
I don't know. It's just I can never. I don't know. There's nothing. I don't know. I just can't.
And how long have you been with your boyfriend?
About a year.
And is he the only person you've been sexually active with?
Excuse me?
Is he the only person you've been sexually active with?
No.
What happened before that?
Before that, it was just nothing. I had sex with two guys once, and that was it.
Two guys once?
Yeah.
Each once?
Yeah.
And how old were you the first time?
15.
15, so.
All right, that's it. The dog's off the water.
You all right?
No more of this nonsense.
Okay.
Enough.
All right.
The dog don't need... The whole hydration thing is overrated.
Do the training.
The dog is no more water. That's it.
Okay. Tatum is having trouble. She fakes orgasms. She can do it by herself, but hasn't been able to figure out how to do it with her boyfriend. And she's afraid to really confront him about it because she's been faking it for the last year.
Oh, boy. Yeah. This is, Oh, God bless you, first off. I think it's the greatest gift a woman can give a man, the fake orgasm.
She has to figure out
Who
a way.
knows where I stand on this?
She has to figure out a way to tell him or to explore with him what might make her happy without letting him know that he's really not been able to do it up until this point.
I think she should do it during the actual faking process. I think she should just be lying there one day when they're engaging in sex and just go, oh, my God, oh. Okay, we got to talk. That'd be great. What?
Because whenever I would, at first, before I realized that, because he would get upset, it was like he acted like, like he was failing me,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just decided to just fake it to make him happy.
So initially, you didn't... He actually sort of drove you to this life of faking.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
By being so upset and wallowing in his own assumed inadequacies sexually that he sort of... You did it to shut him up, essentially.
No, I just did it to make him feel good, because,
Right. And when do you fake? You fake during the intercourse?
Yeah.
And he has never given you an orgasm, and does he do oral sex on you?
Yeah.
And that doesn't do it either.
You have to find a way to explore and communicate to him what works for you.
How tough is it to fake, though? I mean, couldn't she just keep on living that life?
Yeah, she can, but she would like to experience something a little more.
Oh, I see. Well, I think he sounds like a guy who wants to please,
Yeah.
Doesn't he?
But also very sensitive and may freak out when he finds
He's
out.
very sensitive.
Well, you don't tell him you've been faking.
No, I wouldn't do that.
What you tell him is that for some reason it ain't happening anymore.
Yeah, it's
and you now use this as an excuse for him to do a little experimenting.
I thought of that, but it sounds like, weird. I don't know. It's not happening anymore.
You got to do something like that. You have to.
Yeah.
You really do, on your own behalf.
You really, yeah. Start taper them down a little. You know what I mean? Don't have them be quite as severe as they were. If they were, 7.0, just have them be like a tremor. And work them down, and then say, I don't know, I'm a woman, my body's changing, work in some sort of gynecological mumbo-jumbo, and his head will start spinning. Is that your foot, Drew, or is that the dog?
It's my foot. Is the dog here?
I don't know. Did your foot just take a dump on my loafer? No. All right, so start working that way, and then get him to experiment, and then you'll be fine. But you can have an orgasm when you're alone?
Yeah.
Okay. So
you're sure of that?
Yeah.
Okay. Just whatever it is that makes you feel good when you're alone, see if you can incorporate him into that. You know what our job is? We're telling 17-year-olds how to stop faking orgasms. Think about that, Drew.
I perceive that as my job.
You know?
That's one of the...
Get used to it.
Part of our job.
That's weird. And, people come up to me all the time. They got some, kind of sex advice. They got some questions sexually, or they want to know why I'm an expert or something. And I always go, well, what are you talking about? And they go, well, that's what you do. And I always think to myself, Jesus Christ, they're right. It's sad.
But really what we do is create an environment where people should feel comfortable bringing anything.
Yeah, but we're still like the sex dudes.
Yeah, but that's what's important to people.
And worse, you're the sex doctor, I'm the sex pig. Yeah, the guy who masturbates all the time. And then he's farting up a storm in the studio.
And nobody required you to do that, right?
No, it was right in the infinity contract. The word masturbation must be used as it pertains to your penis or said penis, there, hereafter, and unless an act of God, blah, blah, blah. At least 3 times a show. Leslie.
Hello.
You're 24.
Hi.
Hi.
Well, basically, my problem has nothing to do with sex, so don't freak out, Adam.
Good.
Okay.
I'm trying to shed that image of the sex guy.
Well, hopefully I'm here to help. I lost 50 pounds, and I kind of, evened out.
Did you check the car? It's a little lost some weight humor there, Drew.
And I only have 30 more to go, and I really want to. I don't want to go back to the way I was. But
what are you trying to go down to?
About 140.
Okay.
And so you were 220,
and now I'm at 170.
And you're trying to go down to 140.
140.
Okay.
That's over what I'm supposed to be at, but I figure I have never known a time in my life when I haven't been overweight.
Mm-hmm.
Not as severely as I was, but
mm-hmm. How tall are you?
5'7".
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So,
what's your question?
Well, I can't seem to get on the bandwagon again to lose this last bit, but I don't know. I guess I'm just having some issues with people are treating me differently than they did before.
In what way?
Well, guys are paying more attention to me.
Oh, yeah.
Some of them I've known from before.
Well, she's went from the 220 club, very sparse attendance at the 220 level as far as guys who are interested, down to the 170. She went to it's almost like there's rooms. It's like you're at a party. And there's the one that says 220 on it. There's one guy. It's actually the guy who was having sex with his Kita, who's in that room, and he's just there for the free food. And they got better spread over in the 220 room. And then you've went down to the room, the door that says 170 on it, and there's a few more guys in there. A lot of the brothers. The brothers like the big women.
And I mean,
but as you make your way down to the waif room in the basement, that's packed. That's standing room only. Tons of guys in there.
How do you feel about that?
And you're going to be he'll be treated in a whole different way, because no matter what society says about discrimination against blacks, Jews, Hispanics, Asians, whatever the hell the discrimination is, the ultimate discriminator, weight. Even people that don't have, that are colorblind, they're never scale blind. They may be colorblind, but they're fat acute. Believe me. And that's the way society is. So be prepared.
How do you feel about the fact that guys are treating you differently?
Well, it's nice in one respect, but...
That's why she put on the weight in the first place, so to get away from the guys.
That's right.
That's right.
What I was going to try to get out of her if you hadn't just spat it out.
Well, I like to be the smart one. All right. That's what happened, right, Leslie?
Yeah.
Yeah, because male or female, but I would say especially female, when you get up to a weight that is considered unacceptable to the opposite sex, it pulls you right off the field. You're not even in the game anymore, sexually, you know? And it's a defense.
And something has changed in your life to cause you to want to get back into the game, and now you're coming back in, and it's painful, which is to be expected.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
But I think that is the thing that's going to get you to put the weight on.
But again...
You know, it'll either go off or come on, depending on how that emotional thing fluctuates.
Mm-hmm.
I worked so hard. I don't want to go back there.
What we try to protect yourself against?
Pardon?
What have you been trying to protect yourself against? What is it that's so scary or unpleasant about the guys coming around?
Well, nothing that you haven't heard before, unfortunately. I don't know.
Okay. Well, sexual abuse?
A little.
Okay.
Well, but you're making strides to get over that, right? This is you're moving in the direction of trying to prevent that event from ruining and ruling your whole life. And you should feel proud of yourself. You should begin to explore this and realize that the real change always carries pain. That's the thing about humans. Other thing. They can't make real change without connecting with other people, but when they really do make substantial experiential changes, structural changes in who they are, it hurts. That's why they don't do it. So it's more painful than staying in the miserable state they're in.
Fatville. Yeah. Well, damn, I had a thought.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Hey, everybody.
Yeah.
I had a thought. Thank you. Now, here's the thought before we go to break. I actually don't know what it is. I sometimes think I can kickstart myself if I say it with enough conviction.
Sometimes you do channel a little bit. Some being steps into your body.
Weight and here's what I wanted to say. Think about this for a second. We really discriminate against fat people in this society. When I see if I saw a chick at a bar and she had tattoos all over her body and 15 hoops in her nose, I wouldn't talk to her.
Right.
Now, people think maybe that's discrimination.
Yeah.
When I see people doing, hey, you show me a guy with a shirt open to his navel and a big Pisces medallion swinging, I'm not talking to him either.
These things mean something.
They mean something. And society has a way of taking things that mean something and walking on the other side of the street when they see the people that are acting out coming toward them.
Unless they, too, have something to act out.
Right. In which case, they go on that side of the street and they start humping right there on the sidewalk. But I was thinking about this, and maybe when somebody sees somebody who's grossly overweight, they think, ooh, here's a problem. There's someone with some emotional issues. And they're, in a weird way, you know what I mean? Not only is it considered unattractive, but why is it so unattractive? And oftentimes it's people with a lot of emotional pain and baggage are compensating by overconsumption of food, and pow.
Maybe. Okay. There's a lot of biological...
That's a good theory. Thank you very much.
Here's Loveline before deworming. Here's Loveline after getting fixed. Here's Loveline chewing out its stitches. Here's Loveline dragging its butt across the carpet. Bad Loveline. Bad Loveline.
Loveline has been bad, and we'll be right back.
Yes, you is. That third Rockcast is got to be amongst the nicest group of... forget about TV people, just people.
Yeah.
It just is...
unassuming.
Ran into French Stewart, I think I was telling you a month ago or something. Just never met a friendlier guy. And what the hell's her name, too?
Christine.
Yeah. You know what I was thinking about? Thanks, Sam. I was watching the Golden Globes, and they're doing that thing where they're down on the red carpet, and they're interviewing the stars as they come in. And, it's Denzel Washington and his beautiful wife, or whoever, and they're all making their way in. And they have some question to ask them about whatever role they're up for, what their nominee, or what have you. And I thought to myself, this would be the worst possible job for me. I would be sitting there, and it would be Paul Newman and Al Pacino would be walking up, and I'd be going, what's the guinea's name? Jesus, I know the guy's name. Oh, boy. Forget about one of the bit players from Urkel Goes to Camp or something. You know, I mean, forget about that. I can't come up with people's names. And these are people we've had on the show and talked to them for 2 hours.
I think people that do that I suspect people that do that kind of interviewing have to be like really into that stuff.
Yeah,
it's like wanting to be a sportscaster or something. You have to be just into it to remember all the details.
Yeah, and they probably have a little help.
Oh yeah.
Or you got to be.
But you have to be interested in it. We're not interested.
No, I guess not. That's part of our problem. Edgar.
Yes.
Well, that's weird. Yeah. Go ahead. You're 18.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you the weird little Edgar thing I just punched up there and why I thought it was so bizarre. I was trying to think of Joan Rivers.
Husband's name.
No.
Oh, just her.
I was thinking, unless you're Joan Rivers, or unless you're Joan Rivers' daughter, who's down there, who cover all these things all the time, and the name of the guy, her father, and I guess Joan Rivers' husband, who I believe committed suicide, was Edgar. And I wasn't looking at the screen. Drew just drew the number on there, and here's Edgar.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you blew away.
I was thinking of the guy who wrote the song Frankenstein.
What's going on, Edgar?
Not much. Just talking about this girl I once knew. She'd she'd get on a relationship with some guy and then break up with him after a while, and then get another relationship going and break up with him after a while, and the cycle tends to go on.
Sounds like a normal 17-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Sounds like a normal 17-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, she was a little younger at the time.
Mm-hmm. What's your question?
Is there something with her, like something missing in her life that she's...
She would have to call us, but it's normal for a late middle-adolescent female to date different people, and it's even probably healthier for them to sort of choose a partner for a while and then break up.
That's what people do. Edgar, Wade.
Yeah.
You're 14.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This girl I've been friends with for a while, and we went to this play with our drama class, and she was wearing a mini skirt, and I put my hand on her leg, and it worked its way up. And then I felt like a twitch in her leg, so I stopped because I thought she was nervous or something.
Uh-huh.
And so, later on, during intermission and stuff, she acted normal. And then during the rest of the play and on the bus home and stuff. And then next day, she gave me a note pretty much saying I raped her or something. And then, so that night I called her, and she was really pissed and all this stuff. And I don't know what to do.
Is this shocking to you, Wade?
What?
This is shocking to you?
Well, it sounds a little shocking, doesn't it?
It's shocking that a 14-year-old would be groping somebody in a theater. That's kind of shocking to me.
Yeah, Wade's got pretty big... He should change his name to Wave. Short for Wavos.
That's shocking to me.
How old is...
the fact that she didn't get up and scream right at that moment is...
How did this guy get into drama class? Wait, you don't sound like much of a thespian. Wait a minute.
Well, you look what he was up to.
That's true.
Pretty dramatic.
How old was the girl?
She has turned 15.
So she's 15 and you're 14.
Mm-hmm.
And what made you think you could cop a feel?
I don't know.
Well, did you think she liked you, Wade?
Well, yeah, we've been friends for a while and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think that's maybe a violation of the friendship?
Well, yeah, and I told her sorry and everything, and she forgave me that night, and then next day she gave me that, and so I've been confused. And then later on when I asked her why she didn't, stop me or anything, it's because she said she was afraid or something.
Yeah.
And so I asked her why she didn't switch seats with the friend that she was sitting next to and stuff during intermission.
Uh-huh.
And she just couldn't say anything. I don't know.
I suspect she's been victimized before.
She was twitching, sort of like what a horse's ass does when there's a bird on it. That kind of twitching.
I don't know. It was like she wanted to get up or
flying out of the seat.
Mm-hmm. And you didn't touch her crotch though, right?
Well, a little bit.
A little bit. And this was during a school function?
It was after school, drama.
Come on. Now, Ann, why aren't you jumping in the way you did for the dog here on behalf of the girl?
I don't know. I wouldn't call him a rapist or anything. I just want to know where a guy at 14 gets the huevos to have a chick who's 15 sit next to him, and you just start rubbing her thigh.
Right, and there's got to be something else.
I wouldn't do that with a hooker now if we're at a porn theater. I don't got those kind of balls.
Why didn't you say knock it off?
Why didn't she?
Yeah.
Because she was a victim. She's been victimized before.
Well, there's something deeper there, because if she was okay, she would have said, she would have smacked him.
Let me explain how the victim mentality works, and nothing personal against the victims, but I'll just tell you what happens. You attempt to do something to them sexually, they become sort of paralyzed and unable to cope with the situation because
they're totally overwhelmed. They're reenacts.
They're overwhelmed because of their past. Okay, then luckily she was able to twitch enough to get Wade's hand back on his own Johnson there. And later on, as they examine the situation, they become outraged.
Angry,
now, a lot of the rage is directed toward Uncle Lou, who had his way many years ago, but Uncle Lou's 10 years in the ground or in a federal prison, or they haven't dealt with that. And then that rage will come out at that person.
Yep.
Some of it is... and then the person gets really confused because they're like, hey, I was feeling your leg. But, I mean, they weren't... In their mind, they're wondering, well, geez, you were sitting there the whole time, or you didn't switch seats, or after the intermission you came back and sat next to me. I'm not justifying what Wade
is obviously a victimizer, too, of course.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. He's a 14-year-old boy who's...
The girl's a year older than he is, and he's trying to cop a feel. I don't know.
In the theater, it's bizarre.
I know, but this is what guys do.
Yeah.
14-year-olds just groping. If it happened routinely like that, women could not.
I mean, it's not like he slid his hand up her thigh. It wasn't like he was trying to enter her.
Wade's hand is a little ahead of schedule.
He was.
Listen, I always thought you went for the boob outside the sweater before you went right for the crotch. But
well, that was a long time ago. Things have changed.
No kidding.
I know.
Oh, boy.
I mean, listen to what we hear every night.
All right, so, Wade, we're guessing that she may have been victimized at some point. There's a lot of anger that she has about that, and it may be projected toward you. Now, your job isn't to try to talk her out of the anger or try to argue with her or any of that crap. Just say, I'm sorry, I was out of line, and it won't happen again, and just sort of move on, and then she'll get back in touch with those things and probably leave you alone. And don't start an argument with her.
Oh, no.
No.
Because then she'll start to be more hurt and rageful.
Yeah. Well, stop feeling people up for a little while.
Yeah, I mean...
I don't know. And I don't know if that makes her...
It wasn't like they were making out somewhere. He reached a theater and started groping his girl.
All right, but if
I know,
it's
but
not
she's
a theater,
little
where?
Girl. She's 14. She's in high school.
You can't sit in a classroom next to somebody without them reaching up her dress.
Not in a classroom. It was after school at a theater. You know how these thespians are. They're smoking and wearing berets. You know how that is. A very artsy crowd. They're all getting it on.
She could have said no, but...
Yes, of course. And that's part of the problem.
Boy, it's funny how Ann really picks and chooses her battles.
Yes,
there.
isn't it?
She's ready.
A dog can't say no. A 14-year-old can. She's a teenager.
A dog can defend itself.
A dog saes no. It bites your Johnson off. That's how a dog says no.
That's right.
Please. All right, we're going to break.
Ernie, the world's fastest drummer for Loveline. Too high. When I'm not drumming.